Summer Breeze, BBC Radio Cumbria. Now then, we've been hearing about concerns, a condition which affects millions of people in the UK, something that most of us seem to know very little about. We're talking this morning about diabetes. Now, if you don't have it yourself, I'm sure you'll know someone who does, because it's now so common that 10% of the NHS budget goes towards treating it. Earlier we heard from Dougie Twanfall from the charity Diabetes UK. Now we're going to hear from a man who has raised more than £10,000 for the charity, and he's not stopping there. The bank holiday weekend, Adrian Angel from Seascale is taking on another challenge to set out to raise even more money for Diabetes UK. He's been telling me what's in store after raising over £10,000 so far.
It is, yeah. I've been doing this for a few years. I started in 2018, was the first one that I did, and I'll be doing a fundraiser each year involving paddleboarding and just try to make it challenging enough to have people think that it's worthy of donating money to Diabetes UK.
And is there a reason why you chose this particular charity?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have family members and friends with diabetes, so back in actually 2014, I did a big paddle across the channels, a couple of the channels in Hawaii between Maui and Molokai. And so after I did that, one of my family members suggested that I start raising money for Diabetes UK, and they suggested paddling across the English Channel. So that was the first one that I did in 2018, just because of the request that they made, and it worked out very well. So I just kept going.
Yeah, and some of the challenges that you've taken on, you mentioned a few of them there. 57 miles stand-up paddling across Scotland between Fort William and Inverness, 50 miles on the Ohio River as well. What's been your favourite?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think my favourite one was one that I'd been thinking about for years before I managed to pull it off, and that was paddling from the Isle of Man to the village I grew up in Cumbria, Seascale. So that was, it was just something which I'd been planning for a few years, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to pull it off. There was lots of different factors in terms of weather and support and just the sheer distance as well, and going across the ocean. And also a lot of the support that I got from people in the village. I had a little reception committee arriving when I landed at the beach. So that was very meaningful and fun. Yeah.
When you take on these challenges, how hard is it when you do such distances? Paddleboarding, it's not something that I could ever imagine being able to do.
There's different parts of it. There's just the technical part of standing on the board and having an efficient paddle stroke so that you can go as fast as you can with as little effort as possible. There's the nutrition side of it. So when you're going longer distances, you've got to make sure that you're getting enough calories in so you can keep going. And then for a lot of the challenges, honestly, the biggest challenge has been all of the logistics and planning and getting permissions. I mean, one of the ones I did was involved paddling through central London. And what I hadn't realised was that paddleboarding is not allowed through central London. So
right.
I had to get special permission from the Port of London Authority to have a special event, and I had a support boat to make sure that I was safe. It's actually quite rough and there's big tides, so it's legitimately a reason why people don't paddleboard in central London. But that was so logistics and just getting all the equipment lined up. I live in America now, so just arranging to have equipment to use is also part of the challenge as well.
And as I mentioned, you have actually done some of the challenges in America as well, and kind of spreading the message far and wide, really.
Yeah, so the one I did in America is in the city. I now live in Cincinnati, and the Ohio River passes through Cincinnati. And so during COVID, I wasn't allowed to travel. And so I just kept it local and paddled 50 miles along the Ohio River. And
you are, as I understand it, you are a world record holder, is that right?
That is true. It's almost incidental, but it's true.
It's amazing.
The last challenge that I did last year was actually, that was another special one. That was with my brother Timothy. We tandem paddleboarded down a length of the River Thames. So the key challenge there was that he'd never been on a paddleboard before. So he went from no paddling to do 100 kilometers of paddling, and so that was kind of the hook for the fundraising, and it was a great experience. But so before that, I just thought it'd be kind of cool to see the whole of the river. So I did the course, which is the record course, which goes from Lechlade in Gloucestershire. It's actually the course I'm going to be doing for this challenge to Teddington. And I just did it over a couple of days, and I happened to beat the record. So I was able to apply and get the Guinness World Record.
Incredibly modest of you, because it's a wonderful, wonderful achievement. You've done something obviously nobody else has done. And huge congratulations to you for that. You obviously, when you mentioned about growing up in Cumbria, is that where your love for, I suppose, water sports came from?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I grew up on the West Coast, as I mentioned, and I grew up when windsurfing was popular. So I used to windsurf off the beach in Seascale, and that really captured my imagination for many years. I still windsurf, but really that's where the love of water came from, I think.
You mentioned about this challenge this weekend, so tell me more. What does it involve?
So I'm doing this as part of a race. So I mentioned that the last time I went down the river, I was just going at my own pace. So this time it's part of a race. So the big challenge here is that there's cutoff times, and also I'm going to be doing the whole distance in one shot. So it's going to take about 30 hours. So the big challenges for me on this one is going to be the sheer endurance. I've never done anything this long non-stop. I mean, in similar distances I've done in the past, but I've slept overnight, right? So this one is going to be non-stop through the night is going to be a challenge as well. So I've been practicing paddling at night with different lights. There's no moon this weekend, so it's going to be really quite dark. So it's 124 miles. There's 45 locks, and this is part of this race. It's called the Thames 200 Ultra, which I'm very happy that they've organised it because there are checkpoints and there are aid stations along the way. So I have some support. And my other brother, Stephen, he's going to be my support crew for this one. So he's going to be meeting me along the way and replenishing my nutrition pack, so I don't have to carry all of my food and water for the trip as well.
30 hours. That is...
I think it's going to be about that.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll find out how long it takes.
That is endurance. Mentally, how do you prepare yourself to do that?
I mean, the mental part is interesting because it's, on these long distance things, I find that, time sometimes doesn't feel like it means very much. And I just like tick along and I'll find that a few hours have gone by. And other times it just seems like time absolutely drags and you think you've been going for half an hour and you look at your watch and it's been 2 minutes. So, yeah. So it really can play with your mind. So I do, I'm a Christian. I pray quite a lot when I'm paddling. I'm kind of like just thinking about life and what's going on and work, and just your mind wanders and you just go through different things that you think about. So it's really good. I think mindfulness would be the word that comes to mind now. I hear quite a lot about mindfulness, and it's built into this kind of long distance paddleboarding. You really are forced to be mindful about everything that you're doing.
Yeah, the strength that you'll need at times will be quite extreme, both physically and mentally.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it does get painful too. It's and that's a funny thing as well, because after a while you'll start feeling muscles ache and you go, man, I can't think I can keep going, and then you just keep going, and then after a while you're in much more pain, but for some reason it doesn't feel as bad, and so you just have to remember when things start hurting, you just keep going, and that's the key.
I'm going to slightly perhaps inappropriate mundane question. How do you go to the loo? How does that work?
Well, I mean, it's an excellent question. And that's the advantage of having an organised event like this. Is I'm going through 45 locks, and at some of the locks there are toilets. That works out for this race, but because obviously you don't want to leave any trace anywhere. Yeah. But I don't know. You've kind of got it dialed in. It's it's like going into the mountains or something like that. It works out.
Yes. Yeah. Well, good luck for the challenge. When exactly are you starting it?
So it starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, and the cut-off time for finishing is 8 p.m. on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening.
Right. Okay.
So I'm hoping to do it in less time than that, but we'll see. That's going to be the big challenge also, is meeting all the cut-off times.
Well, good luck, and I can't wait to hear all about it and how you get on. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing you're doing. If anyone wants to donate, how can they go about it?
You can go to Just Giving, and if you look for my name, it's Adrian Angel. You'll find the challenge, and you can go in there and read about what I'm doing and make a donation to Diabetes UK. Fantastic.
Adrian, good luck. Let us know how you get on, and I'll be watching out for updates. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Adrian Angel there, who's originally from Seascale, now lives in America, still taking on these mega challenges. I can't believe what he's going to be doing this weekend. That is just phenomenal. And already raised £10,000 for Diabetes UK, hoping to raise even more. So you can find his details on that page if you would like to donate. So he's taking on the Thames 200 Ultra this bank holiday weekend. So good luck to him. It is BBC Radio Cumbria. We've got traffic and travel on the way in just a moment, and we'll be meeting another of our finalists in the Make a Difference Awards in the animal category. That's coming up in just a moment. It's 20 to 12. It is Steph with you, and this is Cyndi Lauper.
You with the same